Stampers, this is Dawn from DawnStampingThoughts.net, and today we're going to make this card. This is what it looks like inside. Isn't it pretty? This is the card I made for my hostess for my club last, I guess it was 2 weeks ago, for Peggy, and I made her these cards. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm using the Calypso Coral. This is cut at 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. Then you're going to need 2 pieces of Whisper White, and these are both cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And then a piece of crushed curry, which is cut at 1 1/4 by 4. Okay, so we're going to use 4 different colors of inks. We're going to use the Daffodil Delight and the Pumpkin Pie first. And then the 2-step in the stamping is going to be with Calypso Coral and the crushed curry. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp first with the Pumpkin Pie and the Daffodil Delight. Okay, but first we're going to go ahead and cut 1 inch off of the bottom of the front of the card, which is, this is the 4 by 5 1/4. So you're just going to cut 1 inch off the bottom. Okay, and then that's going to layer over top of that crushed curry piece. Okay, so the stamp set we're using is called Flower Patch, and it looks like this. And then it also has a coordinating framelits called Flower Flair Framelits. When you buy them both at the same time, you can save 15% with the bundle, but you can also buy them separately also. And then for the inside of the card, I'm using the Fabulous 4. Celebrate, amazing, spectacular, fantastic you. Okay, so the main image, the solid image, as you can see by the stamp set, it's a 2-step stamp set. And you're going to use this image right here. And then we're going to use, let me see, this one right here. So it's going to be the first step, and then this is going to be the second step. So that's why it's called a 2-step stamp set. Okay, so we're going to use Pumpkin Pie with this stamp first. And I'm going to grab my Stampin' Pierce mat because this is a photopolymer stamp set. And there's no cushion, so you want to have a mat with a little bit of cushion on there so you can get a really nice crisp image. Okay, so we're going to stamp with the Pumpkin Pie first. Okay, then we're going to use the Daffodil Delight with the next flower. These colors remind me of summer. So pretty. Okay, so now let's not forget the inside. So we're going to go ahead and stamp that while we have the inks out. Okay, so we're done with those. Okay, now we're going to bring in the Calypso Coral and the crushed curry. And we're going to use the smaller images that correspond with this stamp set with these flowers. So we're going to use the crushed curry. And with it being see-through, you can see exactly where you want to stamp. Let's do this one. Okay. We're going to do the Calypso Coral. Then there's also like a little bud of little tiny dots, I believe. I'm just going to stamp this randomly all over the front with the Calypso Coral. Okay, and we're going to take the inside stamp, which is the Celebrate from the Fabulous 4 stamp set. We're going to also stamp this with the Calypso Coral for the inside. Okay, so now we have to stamp this little strip here. And we're going to stamp Happy Blooming Birthday. And this is from the same stamp set from the Flower Patch. It's right here. I'm going to stamp that with the Calypso Coral. Stamp that right on the edge. Like okay, so now I have another piece of scrap. I'm going to have to get the other ink pads out. I'm going to get the Daffodil Delight because I forgot to stamp the flower that's going to go on the front of the card. So Daffodil Delight, because we're going to stamp it and then we're going to punch it out with the Big Shot. And then take the crushed curry. There. All right, now we're done stamping. All right, so now we're going to take the Project Life Corner Rounder punch, and I'm just going to corner round the top right corner on that, and then also the inside panel for that. I guess I can go ahead and put that on the inside of the card. And this is going to go on the outside, front. And this is going to layer onto the crushed curry. Just like that. And this is going to layer right at the very bottom, like that. All right, so now let's go ahead and grab the Big Shot and cut out the flower. Okay, so we're going to use the Flower Flair Framelits. And this right here fits this flower, but there is a certain way to line it up, so you're just going to have to turn it to get the perfect fit. Okay, so it looks like this might be the, there it goes right here. Okay, and then we're just going to go ahead and punch that out with running it through. There's the flower. Whoop. Okay, so there's the flower. Cute. And we're going to put this on a dimensional. And then this is going to go on the front over here. Okay, so now one more thing. We're going to add some basic rhinestones to all the flower centers. And of course, you don't want to forget the inside. Okay, so that's how you make that card. Isn't it cute? All right, so now let me show you this one here that I made for Peggy. This one I used Wisteria Wonder and the Lost Lagoon, and those were the only two colors that I actually used for this card. What I did is when I stamped the main image, which I used the pumpkin pie for this one, I inked up the Wisteria Wonder and I just stamped off before I stamped. And then the inside second layer is just full ink. So I just inked it and then stamped it right on top. And again, that was Wisteria Wonder and Lost Lagoon. Okay, so that's it. Thanks for stopping by. See you later. Bye.